Well, actually, just get the pan side for but yeah, I think that's the only place that they actually have. Right.
When I call your name, just like me. When I call your name, just like a flea.
Hi everybody. Sorry.
Would like to blame
Hi everybody. Welcome. We're gonna do some production things. So. Unfortunately, I was hoping that I was gonna make some code and some stuff. So all income that I make, regardless of commissions or sample pack sales or memberships or whatever, is going to be contributed toward this goal. But I'm working on trying to put the work into the computer to fan noise.
just because.
So I'm doing pretty well. I've got a lot of what I need. Not quite. Tell everybody that line. Hey, G Karthik. I haven't done Ableton in a really long time. How are you? What's good? I mean, I still have Ableton, but I have kind of melded over to Bitwig. I still have to use Ableton for some specific things, but hey, Wiggles, how's it going? How's this? The sound still good? Hopefully the computer fan noise isn't too bad. I think that we did a pretty good job last stream. I haven't changed the settings, but I did move my mic position. So yeah, I mean, if you have something specific that you want to see within Bitwig, Ableton, I can always open that up. But for the most part, I've kind of migrated, and honestly, I feel like Bitwig in particular has evolved and is getting into, unless if you use Max for Live, I'd say that Bitwig has surpassed Ableton. Sorry, I know most people would not agree with me, but honestly, like, it's so much better. It is so much better. Hi everybody, welcome to the show. Welcome and stuff, if you guys haven't already seen it, I recently did a video with Bass Gorilla yesterday, and you can just go to the Bass Gorilla YouTube channel and check that out while it's still public. I don't know what they're doing, but they haven't made it private yet or whatever. So okay, cool. um I, I don't know. Maybe I should message them, but right now it's available, so go watch that at some point, where I cover a lot of abstract sound design and stuff. I have not been live previous for like 8 days before that because I had a power outage and a huge ice storm just knocked our power out. Well, it knocked all of my lines out, so we had to get the house fixed, and then we had to cut a bunch of trees down, and then we had to have OG&E come out and restore the power lines. So, wow. What a past couple weeks time has been to us. Dude, okay, so like my friend's wife got hit by a semi, and she went to the hospital, and that was just like, she survived, but like after she was hit by the semi, her car went over fucking, sorry, a highway bridge, and so she fell like 50 feet and somehow still survived. And like she's okay, but she's not okay. She's got a ton of broken bones and like horrible things that happened to her, but she's gonna start physical therapy next week. Yeah, it's nuts. So that was while the power was out, and then yeah, my other friend's mom died, and it was just like, bro, what the fuck? So yeah, I'm okay though. Everybody I know is okay for the most part. I hope that you all are doing okay, and I'm kind of just happy to kind of be back and doing some music stuff. I think that my webcam is a little bit too big, so I'm gonna make it a little smaller, and I'm also gonna make this a little bit smaller because I don't think that we need all that real estate up here. I mean, this is pretty much out of the way anyways, but whatever. If it's too obtrusive or I'm too ugly, then I can either put a mask on or turn the webcam off. Speaking of the good news, new microphone. Yeah, this thing is awesome. I think that this is doing so much better at handling the fan noise as what I used to have. And then also I got some nice tapestry and a new webcam. It's not a new webcam, but for $8 you can get Epoch Cam on your iPhone, and you can use that as a webcam. And so I've got some. I miss the fan wiggles. Fuck off. Straight up. No, I'm kidding. But no fan. Fuck the fan. So yeah, I think that I'm actually going to prepare another. Well, assuming that they'll have me, I think that I'm going to prepare another lesson for Bass Gorilla, and I think what we're going to do is kind of talk about generating some melody ideas. And I don't know if I want to do that today, but I did want to mention that. And there's already a video on YouTube about that, of how to create like IDM melodies of the sort. But I realized that after doing that, there's a couple of other different ways to kind of go about getting the same results. And I think that I'm just going to set a project file up for that before I actually start doing some other sound design and like getting into whatever. So as I did last time, hopefully you guys enjoyed that seminar. I kind of had a dummy walkthrough seminar, and then I was like, I don't know when this is going to happen, but this is supposed to happen, so you guys get it kind of first. Just don't tell Bass Gorilla. And if Bass Gorilla is watching this, you never saw it. So, yeah. Okay, so with all that stuff out of the way, let's go ahead and throw up an arpeggiator. And what we're going to do is talk about two different styles of how to go about this. So the video that I posted on IDM Melodies was regarding the idea of using these arpeggiators in different selections to create different melody ideas. But if we reverse that, then technically we might not even have to go into like resampling in order to get something interesting. So I have an arpeggiator up, and then I'm going to go into Omnisphere, or the such Omnisphere. I wish Avin was here to enjoy that meme with me. And if he isn't here, then please enjoy that meme with me. So The only thing that I'm going to use Omnisphere for is just pulling up some kind of bell or something that sounds decent. This can be done with any patch. I like to go for like world sounds, usually. Something that sounds somewhat organic-ish. How's the latency now, by the way? On Streamlabs, they recently came out with an update that allowed me to choose the latency settings before I went live via YouTube, and I thought that was pretty neat. So hopefully it's like way less bad. Like, I'm hoping that instead of 30 seconds behind, we're like 5 seconds behind now at the most. Hopefully. Hopefully. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast of today. My name is Alckemy, and I'm going to be guiding you through a latency test. Might still be pretty late. I think somebody would have said something by now. So, yeah, we've got this. And, hi, robot. Hello. Hello. Good news. I talked to your instructor, and we have some cool stuff coming up soon. Is good. Okay, so normally what I would do, actually, let's just go ahead and set that up because reasons. So this man said he's off to China. Wait, your instructor is the other dude from Lost in Beijing? The dude who's actually in China? I'm confused. No. I was just making a joke because of the name. Okay. Okay. So what I would normally do on here is I'd set up a couple of randomizers to do some cool skippy doodahs, kind of like this. And I need to set this to bipolar. And let that run free. Actually, no, I'm going to set it to sync. That's important. And then on this one, I'm also going to set this to bipolar. And I'm probably going to do something like this. And this one will be good. I'll set this one to 4. Set this one to an octave. I'm gonna pull this one up. Pull this one down. And then I'm going to start this one from here. I don't know why that's jumping so quickly, but let's set that to, yeah, let's set that to here. And then let's set this to reset at every bar. So, I'm going to prepare the next Bass Gorilla lesson on this, I think. And why is this so happy? This is way too fucking happy for me. Insult it. It's going really fast. Huh. Okay, there we go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab an effect selector. Oh, that's why. Okay, my bad. I forgot. So, bleh. I totally spaced out on this. So instead of throwing the randomizer on the arpeggiator on the time mode right here, what I'm actually going to do, sorry about that guys, I totally spaced out, is I am going to keep this here. And I'm going to duplicate this now into 3 different things, and then I'm going to change the settings of these. Just tripping out. Maybe I'll also do like triplets, and then maybe do something like that. And then maybe one in dotted rhythm. Yeah, sorry, sometimes I space out on things. Oh hey General Chow, I have something I may quite like this Alckemy to get sick pan drum sounds. I'm out of ideas here. Here I am. And low. Okay, so what this is basically doing is we've got 4 different arpeggiators that are set to different time modes on here. And what this is doing is selecting between each one. And every bar, this is going to refresh. So that's kind of where this stuff comes in. I'm going to set the main one here, so that way this should select between all of these. So in theory, definitely check the private link. That private link, I made these drums in Omnisphere and ARP inside Omni Ableton to create Really Think. I don't know what private link you're talking about. To really create what? Dude, their links aren't allowed on YouTube, so I don't know. I don't dude, it's fine. I've done this. I already have a video on this, so basically what I'm doing right now though is between this selection, we have this melody that is consistent between all of these, and this is important because what's happening on this is how do I say? What's happening on this is that within the same melody, all of these are kind of playing independently of each other, if that makes sense. So we're getting different rhythms of the same melody. I think that I am going to change the actual sound though, so and I don't think that I want that one, either of these, to go quite that fast, but what I will do is set that to that one, set that one to triplets, that one's at 1/4, that one's at 1/8. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna change the sound again. Maybe something to a traditional. How about but not as extensive, I believe, if you combine. I do when Omnisphere 2.6 came out, I actually released a video on that as well. But I find that this method that I'm going to show is a little bit more refined. My bad, dude. No, you're good. I just, sorry, I wasn't sure what you were talking about. I'm a little, oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, actually I would argue that in some ways Omnisphere has some much cooler phrasing that you can do within it, but I just don't like working with it. It's not something I enjoy doing, so I tend to ignore it, whereas this is a lot more effective to me, in my opinion. So now that we have something like that, I think what I'm also going to do is sounds better to me. So I'm going to take Omnisphere in post, and then I'm going to just let this record for like 8 bars. Dude, if I continue these pan drums I made, you'll catch my drift. Honestly, it's up to you, your bar. No, it's not that. It's just that YouTube doesn't allow links. So there's no way for me to view that. If you wanted to drop it in the Discord, then you can do that, but like even if I wanted to take a look, you can't link anything on YouTube. But just chill for a sec. Let me show you what's getting ready to happen. dude, you're good. Okay, so now that we have that, we can extend this all the way until it goes. And what we have now is the same melody in a bunch of different rhythms. So what we'll do here is go into this and drag this into a new instrument. And now what we're going to do is go to texture mode, and we're going to grab a couple other randomizers like this. And this is where like this really differentiates like the ability of what you can do in Bitwig versus Ableton. Okay, make sure that that's still on, and then we'll grab another one, and this one is going to just kind of cycle through here. And we're going to do this at a 1/4 rate. So that's a quarter note, totally fine. And now what we get is when we hold a single note on this, this is going to jump back and forth between all this stuff here. So take a listen. Sorry, Ableton, you can't do that. So now what we can do is, and I was just pushing F, by the way, or a single note. So now what you can do is you can actually create a riff with this. So I did make this an F, so we'll start with a root note. It's almost like envelope following. I don't know if you've ever seen Eccles stuff on how they create, I say he, like Harvey creates like melodies like this, but this is like a streamlined process to kind of move this over to get stuff out of the box in this way, without having to do this in audio. Because like I would actually argue that Ableton does this really well in audio, but you have to do it by hand. Whereas now that I have this, like I can just create a melody like this, and so maybe I'll try to stick to something that's like pentatonic. Oh, right. I have to come back in here and then turn this on and set the root note to F2. So now I have a fucking awesome melody. And now we can just bounce out a bunch of renditions of this into something that sounds interesting. So what am I doing? Yeah. So now what we're going to do is we're going to record this now into a bunch of different cuts. All subscriber. Raj Empire Esports Company. Palindrome. Okay, so I do like this, but I'm actually going to change the last note on here, and I think I'm going to yeah, I think that would be good. And then let's actually do a second phrase right here. Should out for Raj Empire Esports Company? What? I have no idea what's going on in chat. Cool. Okay, let's take a look at what me to look at. Maybe try some polyrhythms? Am I a joke to you? That's what this is.
If you're in a block or a whip, then raise up a hand or a lighter. Murderous phrases, I'm hyper. Taking my way through the night just.
I guess you're just wanting me to listen to your
Raise
jam.
up a hand or a lighter. Murderous phrases, I'm hyper.
No, check all the hand drums. Yeah. It's okay. I mean, I get the gist of what you're trying to tell me. This is more of like a glitch procedure though, as opposed to just doing an arpeggiator, if that makes sense. The syncopation on this is a lot more in depth because of the chops. So if I were to just do this in Omnisphere, then I could recreate that to where like the whole entire sound is like still clean within the preset itself. But there's a big difference between what this sounds like and then what this sounds like in particular. So that's kind of what I'm trying to describe, if that makes sense. But what's happening is that because this melody is in key with this, there's a bunch of different melodies that, or at least a few different, notes that this is bouncing back and forth in between. It's a lot more IDM. Yeah, that's what the purpose of this is for IDM music, as opposed to something that's like a clean melody, if that makes sense. So. Cool. So now that we have that, we can kind of back up on this a little bit. And we've got a melody here. My bad, dude. I just wanted to show you some results I got. I looked majorly. Dude, I appreciate that. No sweat. I was just trying to, I guess, explain the difference of like what I was going for and why I am choosing to do something different than an Omnisphere, if that makes sense. So even with this stuff, the reason why this is different is because potentially you have the ability to have more variation. Whereas with Omnisphere, whenever you go into the arpeggiator here, you do have like these modes right here to where you can do like random and stuff, but they are still kind of preset, if that makes sense. And so like this takes a long time to set up, and like you can get some cool results out of it. But the workflow that I set up with this is a lot easier for me, and that's just my own personal workflow. And the thing is too, is like if I want to create more randomness or variation between this, all I have to do is continue to add more arpeggiated differentiations and stuff, right? So, you know, I can do something like this and kind of go there. So well, there is good news, because I'm going to talk about a couple of other different ways that you can do this to where you can use this, to where you can actually pull this off within Ableton, or you can also pull this off in, how do I say, you can pull this off with like something like Portal as well. So what we would do instead is we'd go back into this note right here. Good ARPs are hard to find though. They used to be. They're a lot easier now though. So now what we can do though instead is we can just copy this melody in a 1/4 thing of na na na. Okay, I just have to find it. What is this one? Okay, so root note -4 -12. Root note 1 2 -4 -12. And then what are the other ones? -12, root note. Root note +7. That would be here. Wait, 1 2, that would be C. And this belongs over here, I believe. 1 2 3 4 5 6. -4 -12. Okay. So then we'll go back to here and then go back to here. How do you see more limitations in Ableton or Bitwig, and which do you find funner to use? For inspiration and like for like creative processes, I find that this is much more fun. Bitwig is much more fun. Ableton can edit video, and then also Max for Live is just like a whole different thing to talk about. But yeah, I would definitely prefer for Bitwig these days, just because it's just for me personally and the kind of music that I make. This is just great. Okay. So yeah, Max is a whole different beast, right? So what I did is instead of having this kind of jump around in different parts, what I'm going to do now is kind of keep this here on this melody. And now instead of having these different selectors and stuff, I'm going to use randomizations here in order to do the same settings that this is doing, just in a different way. So now I actually have the same melody that I was playing right here on this particular timetable, but instead of using a selector that has 5 different arpeggiators, I'm just going to use a single one and change the timing of this every 4th bar. It still feels kind of Ableton, which I like. Yeah, it's, to me, like this is Ableton 2.0, to be honest. So with this, I can kind of bounce back and forth in between this being musical and non-musical. Or in time, rather. And I'll just set that to there. And then I'm also going to grab a 3rd arpeggiator here that's going to transposition or manipulate in between all of these. There's one more that I'm going to add here that I'm going to do in the same area, like this. So that way we're still getting the same stuff, but it's hard to give up some stock Ableton things that I like doing. There is a give and take. The main thing that I missed from Ableton was the glue compressor, and you can buy that separate. And then I also miss Simpler, but other than that, everything else is easily replaceable. So yeah, so we have this like cute little arpeggiator thing set up, but what I've gone and done is reverse engineered this to now having the melody here, and the arpeggiator is going to change in between and pretty much do the same thing that this would normally be doing, right? So hello, how's it going? So every 4th note, this is changing, and this is kind of going. So the ARP's just acting as a clock. As a clock? What? No, it's every fourth note. These are randomizing the time. I guess if that's what you mean, but it's randomizing the patterns in between this. And so it's pretty much the same exact thing as this, just with the single arpeggiator. And I actually prefer doing it this way because I can just use a single note, and that ends up becoming a lot easier to do. But you can do it this way. You can also do it this way, and this is going to be the one that you would be able to use Ableton with. But the third method that we also have is if you don't have access to modulators, then you can use Portal. And even though you can't get the exact same results per se, what you can do, I'm gonna move this over here, is go back to here, and instead of having all these doohickeys or whatever, you go into a single note like this. I'll be right back. Okay. And on this, you pick a scale like pentatonic minor or so, and then you just randomize the pitch. And what you can do here is also randomize the density, kind of like this. And then maybe set that there and just do like a little bit of randomization here. But what this is going to do is pretty much the same thing as what these other things normally would have done. But it's going to kind of automatically turn this into, well, you'll see. It's going to take a second to get going though. And I'm going to set this to 4th. So, hey Badini, how's it going, man? I'm going to set this to go up a little bit more. Okay, it's wanting to do things. Set that to here. Hey Greedo, welcome. I've been trying to wrap my head around faceplant lately. Yeah, faceplant's awesome. Introduce some grain delay. And I'm gonna move the size up a lot more, so that way hopefully this will... There we go. So now we have this cool little, like, space thing, right? But everything is technically pentatonically in key. And so what we can do is the same thing where we just start to bounce this out. I bought one of your packs to deconstruct. Thanks. Which one? Ascension? That one's good stuff. Yeah, that one is good shit. I fully of all the products that I put out, I think that's probably the best one, to be honest. But thank you for supporting that. I hope that you find good use in it. So yeah, kind of the same thing right here, right? We can kind of focus on doing a similar workflow process to this, to where, oh shit, that's not what I meant to do. To now that we have this in F2, we can do the same thing with the modulators and all that cute stuff of finding different hits and blips and beeps and bloops and stuff through all of this stuff. I said a lot of stuff many times just now. So we'll set that there, and then we'll duplicate this and do the grain size as well. And then we can give this a little bit of motion. And then this is really quiet by nature, so I'm going to turn this up quite a bit. So now we can kind of think about doing the same thing, right? And because the root note of this is in the key of F, then we can kind of get away with at least doing something like this, I feel. And let's go ahead and move that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this over into something that's a little bit more honed in, just because there's so many, like, this is kind of an area to where so kind of in the same sense, right? It's still doing the same thing. And while I would say that because of what we fed into this, you're going to get more variation, it's still the same approach to that. I've been doing a lot of grime and left field stuff lately, so it's basically a glitch sampler. What, Portal? Yeah, I'd say that Portal is. But there's a lot of different ways to get to this part and to kind of, you know, do a lot of similar functionalities, both manipulating between granular and randomization of an arpeggiator. So, hey, Jasnane. That's kind of what I would like to maybe focus on in the next lesson that we do with Bass Gorilla, because I think that they would enjoy putting stuff together like this, of like different common or like different approaches to. Portal uses granular for most of its stuff. Yeah, that's primarily the selling point of that, is it's a granular effect engine. But having the ability to kind of go in between all this stuff, like I find that once you like understand the concepts behind all this stuff, if you get stuck on melodies, like there should be no, as long as you have a good key or like a good source sound to start with, this should answer all of your problems with that. And the other thing too is like, you don't even have to create a melody like this of some sort, right? Like you can still do the same thing where you just think of a rhythm. And so like, let's say I have a syncopated rhythm. I'm getting killed on melodies and bass lines. I'm probably overcomplicating it, to be honest. Also, like you make a different kind of music, so that's something to consider as well, right? But for like IDM purposes and all that, like so we've got something like this. And now the only thing that I can take away all of the like quote unquote melody. Can't see my fingers. Jesus. Okay, here we go. Melody. Melody things where, you know, you've got all these different things, but instead I can take all of that away and just focus on rhythm. So maybe something super simple like this. Cool. Let's see if this works now. Hopefully it does, because this is a great tape delay. Yeah, true. Would someone like to buy me Bitwig? Bro, you gotta get on your own campaign, man. I'm trying to raise some money for a new computer. So, yeah, this already crashed, unfortunately. No. But that's okay. You can use just like the kilohearts delay or something, because that's free. Kilohearts delay. Heart. Hope I helped. And so now, like, whenever you start to think about compiling something together, okay, this could work. Let's move all this other stuff up here. How are things tonight? I'm doing all right. I'm just chilling, having some fun with some streaming business. Streaming things. Streamy. So I'm kind of upset because I thought that I was going to get a good price on selling my computer to get a new computer, and that totally backfired on me. So now I'm like, fuck, I got to figure out a new way to campaign for that. No, I was gonna sell it to somebody, and they were like really keen on buying it, and then they were like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. And I was like, okay, well, that's fine. But that kind of makes me, puts me in like a different position. Cool, so now that we have something like that, then we can kind of go into that same thing. Where's this generator? Oh, dude, it's fine. Like, that's not like a... It is a letdown, but that's like, okay, yeah, it's a lot of money. So if somebody wants to change their mind on something like that, like, no worries. I would want them to feel good about what they're getting themselves into. So, the glitch factory. There we go. So in theory, I've kind of done this a few times now, but in theory, like, I could literally just grab something like this and go from C1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and play this as such. And now what this is going to do is, I guess I should open this and show you guys. This is on the new Bitwig pack that I have. It's exclusively for Bitwig, but I have this like 128 glitch machine rack, and what this is going to do is just generate some cool, well, shit for me. So thinking of this and like trying to compile things together, I'm again allowing the computer to do things for me to where I don't have to work so hard. So like now we've kind of started getting some ideas together of like so that sounds pretty cool, although I'd argue that this probably needs to come up an octave maybe. And then coming in from that, we just set up a sidechain of some sort and then kind of just get into like a cool kick pattern. And I guess what we can also do is grab this and just maybe copy that, so that way that's kind of playing. Don't. And maybe I'll syncopate this here. Cut that a little. Cut that a little bit short, kind of like this. Easy sidechain. Okay, so I mean, just as far as like getting an idea started, it's pretty quick to just try to pull a groove together in this way. Okay, so that sounds pretty cool, but I think that we would need something else that's a little bit more consistent, so maybe we can find some kind of shuffle. That can probably work, to be honest. Okay, so what we're going to do is set this to 1/16, just like how you normally would on Ableton. Dope. And then what we can do is we can continue to further develop this idea just by coming into, I think I'm going to join these and then coming into here and then doing some more like quote unquote like comp editing style things. So okay, so like maybe right here I would want this to be a drill. Dope. And then maybe right here I'll cut that and reverse it. I missed the lo-fi aesthetic with the fan. Dude, kick rocks. Is there a way to do that in Ableton? Yes, I already had, yeah, I have one set up somewhere. But the 128 rack is actually, I didn't make the 128 rack up. I got that from, oh no, I disconnected. Am I still live? Yeah, I got that from, what's it called though? Bill Gates. Yeah, I'm working on that. Working on the epoch cam. Bear with me for a second. I'm going to keep going on this for just a hot take. So yeah, now that you can kind of like do this kind of editing or whatever, you can continue to kind of develop this idea of some sort of like just really going crazy with moving these things in such a way. So go like this and then kind of move that there. Oh, undo. And then on this, I can actually cut all of these together. Karma for what? What'd I do? What did I do? I don't get it. And then maybe I can just kind of cut this off right here. Hello, Command E, and then move this over in this way. And then what I'm going to do is hold Shift, and I can take the whole phrase and stretch that out like this. And man, like working in this particular thing is so much, like it's super fun. This is a great way to do micro editing. So. What's up with this? Cool. So I think personally I would probably keep this dry. And like this is something that you can do, but I think it would be more fun to actually have like a full melody over this because it's just kind of like not enough. Sorry, could you go over the chain again? Which chain? So yeah, so this stuff is really cool. And like what you can even do is like bounce out a couple of these cuts like this, and then go to bounce in place, but actually, sorry. I'm gonna actually do bounce, so that way we get all the effects. The shuffle? There are no effects on here. This is like kind of like a comp editing feature, I would say. I'm just going in and like you can do editing within the clips themselves in this particular manner. So like I'm essentially cutting the audio and chopping the audio and stuff, but it's within the same clip. So no, the shuffle here is just yeah, I'm not doing anything with the shuffle. You're okay. Just letting you know. And so now that we have a couple of these cool like little glitch hits and stuff, then what we can do is we can start to kind of make some space for some of these hits and kind of clear up some of the other conflicting elements here, except for the kick, if that makes sense. So let me actually turn this off for a hot sec. And then maybe like cut that off right there at halfway, so we can allow this phrase to come in. And then like maybe even on the turnaround or something, we can kind of just let that. And then maybe right here, I'll grab this and then go into like a reverse sample or something. Hey NX, what's good? Then I'll just grab the whole phrase and reverse that, so that way the kick goes into this stuff. So like yeah, as you can see, like making this stuff is pretty, like once you have a couple of things set up, it becomes a lot easier. Regarding this, I don't have anything on here other than a saturator. That's the only thing that the arpeggiator is doing. But the reason why it's giving you so much variation between sound is because you can use the granular synth and randomize the texture and then also the grain size. And you can't do this in Ableton Sampler, but you might be able to do it in Granulator 2 or that other grain synth that is in there. I haven't used it, so I don't know if any of those parameters are modular, I guess would be the way to describe that. I don't know if those parameters can be modulated, but as you can see, like there's a lot of different stuff that you can do to, you know, kind of get close to the same results. Like if this is impossible for you to do in Ableton, then you can do this in the same way that I did with the arpeggiator here, or you can use Portal, or you can do what the French toast ever. But that was kind of what I wanted to try to demonstrate within the track strategies of this, so that way you can what's it called? Ouch. so that way you can kind of like get over like the issues of like making melodies and all that stuff, right? So I'm gonna call this oh shit, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to save. File, save as. Let's call this melody demonstration. Cool. Don't need any of that stuff anymore. So yeah, now what I think I'll do is go into some faceplant stuff and maybe pull up a generator. I feel like there was one that I made recently that I really liked. I don't remember. Hello, do you use some VST EQ correction for your headphones? Yeah, I do. Are you noticing, or was that just like a random question? I'm using SonarWorks. Well, I'm using the demo of SonarWorks right now. Good ears, my friend. Good ears. If you did notice. Let me see. User versatile reads. Noticing because I have HD 652. Oh. Yeah, I'm using HD 600s, but I think that either way you'd still notice that you have more bass in your ears. Yeah. So still, either way, that's pretty cool that you can pick up on that. That sounds like you have good ears. Let me see here. Wheel. Let's try this one. That one is cool. Okay, do I have this saved as a preset? I don't. Alright. You put correction on the master, but when you just listen to music, you hear the sound without correction? No, so what I've done is on my output, I have this set to, the whole thing is just going to correct for me, long story short. I actually haven't pulled the trigger on buying this because I'm gonna hopefully wait for a Thanksgiving sale, or sorry, Black Friday sale or whatever. But it does work pretty well. But the reason why I do it here is because if you use it on, if you do this on the master, then it's going to sound like significantly more quiet. So I haven't figured out how to mix this in to make it sound as good. It's too different for me to kind of figure that out. And then like you also introduce like a shit ton of latency within this. Oh, you have HD 600, not HD 6. No, that's totally fine. I think that you still probably would feel the bass in this because the bass has been boosted to the software correction. But yeah. This one's pretty cool. I kind of want something that has a little bit more transient stuff in this. It does work as an audio driver, but I don't know, like, it's not a sound card by any means, right? So it's not quite the same, but it can serve as an audio driver that like serves as the master audio driver. So it allows you to take all of your different outputs that you have and apply specific corrections towards them. So if you look right here, like these are all the audio drivers that I have. So this is my microphone This is the epoch cam, which is here, even though I don't think that this should be doing anything. I think I can actually turn that off. The Samsung is my external monitor, so that's a TV. This is the actual Mac speakers. This is the zoom in case if I wanted to pull zoom up. I don't think that I have that open right now though. So yeah, I can at least do that. But it does a pretty good job. Like if I turn this off, it will show you, this is the response curve of the HD 600s, and then this is kind of what it ends up coming out to. So you still get these little wiggles right here, but this is like maybe half a dB, and then that's pretty significant how that goes. Of course, this is a simulation, so if you look at the calibration of what's actually happening right here, and we're boosting the low end, and then boosting the, I'd say around like 2.5K-ish, and dipping everything else beyond that, but that's kind of what we're looking at within this. So overall, I've been pretty satisfied with like how this sounds, or I've already gotten accustomed to it. But again, I'm going to see if there's a Black Friday sale on this. Thank you. Probably need SonarWorks. It will make a difference. It will, like, one thing that I was kind of thinking was like, is it even going to make a difference, because you and I already have like pretty good headphones that are relatively flat, given HD 650s are a little bit more veiled. But I'd say, yeah, like it does make a difference, but do you actually need it? No, you don't. You don't need it, but it will do its job if that's what you're looking for. Like if you want your headphones to be completely flat, this will do the job for you. Please insert security code. Access denied. Access denied. Access denied. I think that this one I actually did some outside processing too. Yeah, here we go. So I'll just pull this up and see if this is any better. Maybe I'll just make one. I don't know. I'm kind of just like chilling and doing stuff. Okay, that's doing things. So let's grab this and go into like 32 bars. Why is faceplant light blue when mine is purple? It's because I have a different skin on it. Or wait. You mean mine is purple and yours is light blue? Or I guess mine is light blue. Yours is purple? What? Give me that skin. Okay, I'm going to add one more randomizer on here that I'm just going to flip between smooth. Also going to throw this in sync. Probably also throw that in sync. That's in sync already. Cool. Is this manipulating the speed? I don't think so. Maybe what I can do on here is turn this down, turn this down, turn this down, all the same. And then I will grab that here and then do another one and randomize this macro here. So now these should kind of like go between fast and slow. Yeah, that's kind of more of what I'm looking for. Okay, so we can bounce that out now. what's the time in your country? Or in mine it's 9:42. It's 11:43 p.m. So it's nighttime where I'm at. I disconnected again. Are you using IV cam? No, I'm using epoch cam. This is the most that this is kind of done things to. So I don't really know what's going on with that. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal. Yeah, so now we've got this like huge thing of sound. I find IV cam very reliable. Well, I'm doing this over Wi-Fi because both of my oh, I guess one of them are. I suppose I can hook up this to USB. Maybe I should do that and see if that works. But typically this USB port that I have is taken up by something else. So yeah, epoch cam was like $8. Well, $8 US. It was super cheap and for the most part works really well, but I guess sometimes this just kind of cuts out or whatever. Let's see. Wait. Okay, so now I'm connected via USB. Update is required to connect to Ian's iPhone. Would you like to download and install? Not now. Okay. So now that we have this though, we can kind of slice this into a multi-sample and go into fourth notes. And now we've got a bunch of glitch codes. Turn that off. Turn that off. Save me some CPU. Let's see if we can find anything interesting. So now we can just kind of get an idea started with this. Boom. Oh, I think I wanted this one. Boom. 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 Oh, oops. I think that this one I didn't edit. So what I'm going to do here is grab this and stretch this out. And then for this one, I'm going to slice in place. Sorry, I know that I just completely stopped talking, but that's kind of what happens when I start to get into production mode. Oh shit, actually, I think that what I could do is grab this and randomize, I think, to here. Does Bitwig have Command D hotkey? Yeah. You can actually set your own custom shortcuts on here to whatever it is that you want. Cool, that randomized that for me, which is nice. And let's move this over to the right a little bit. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pan these all over like this much, and then just introduce a little bit of chaos as well to that, like 15%. Hiya. Okay, let's grab another clap. Was that bass made in Faceplant and sampled later? What bass? I don't have any bass on here as of now, but I guess these textures, yeah, in Faceplant. Okay, so now that we have that, we can actually start to think about introducing an actual sub into this. Did any of you guys watch that Mr. Bill video from what Copycat showed him? I thought that was pretty interesting. Whenever I did lessons with him, Copycat in particular, he was kind of showing me the exact same thing, but in like a little bit less of a refined form, I guess. Do one of these, and then maybe just a little bit of FM. That's too much. Actually what I can do here is And maybe right here on this phrase or something, we can do something a little different. So I'm going to set this to like 12. Cool. And now we can grab something like this maybe. I need a return channel. There we go. Have I used Zebra 2? Yes, I have. I do own Zebra 2. I don't like it. But I do have it. I have like maybe 1 or 2 videos of base design in Zebra, I would say. Let's do ROM this time. Oh, I'll check those out. Yeah, it's like a 5-minute base tutorial, and I would argue that it's not that good anymore. It's kind of outdated, but it is there. It's like a quick tuts, I think. I made it when I was out of town, doing a gig. Okay. So now what we're gonna do is grab that and come down here. Maybe let's try like right there. And then maybe just like right there. Probably be okay. Okay, that sounds pretty cool to me. So I think what I'm going to do is maybe take out the low end of this now. And then let's do like some dimension expander or something and see if we can make this a little bit wider. Maybe some saturation or something could be useful. Okay. So now that we have this, I think I'm going to take all of these and remove the transient on this. Huh? Wait, what? It sounds like... Oh, okay. There we go. Okay, cool. I think that the kick could use a little bit more beef. I mean, actually by itself it sounds okay, but I wonder if... What's up with this sidechain? Okay. QTT. Say what? Okay, maybe like right there, there's a moment for something cool. I don't know why my DSP is fucking going haywire, but it is. What's up with this? Oh, you fuck. Man, what is this shit? Ugh. There we go. Okay, that sounds pretty cool. I'm gonna back off of this Haas effect, I think. And then I think that for this, I kind of want, there's a kind of a tail on here. So I'm going to see if I can shorten that up a bit. And then I think that I want this. It seems like when, ironically, like whenever I'm pulling the sidechain on this, if you take a look at this little graph right here, it looks like when I pull the high cut down that it's doing less sidechaining, but it seems like ironically the clap becomes more apparent or like more clear, whereas if it's like hitting the full sidechain, something seems off. Yo, thank you so much, Jacob Marrow, for subscribing. Appreciate it. Yeah, so I think that like regarding a tune like this, if I can find a way to, how do I say, if I could find a way to make all this stuff pop, like I don't really feel like you need any more layers to this, to be honest, or you wouldn't need much other than, yeah, other than some good mixing creative things. But I mean, for the most part, like this is an easy idea to kind of get the ball rolling. I kind of wanted to just play a bit today, so like this isn't like a serious track that I'm like really passionate about, but at the same time I'm kind of like wary on getting like really deep into a new track just because we're still in beta, and I'm like, I would much rather do this kind of play and just kind of have fun with this kind of stuff right now than actually like get super far while still in beta and then lose another track. I don't want to do that again. I already lost one track. I think it was on stream, and then something happened, and I was just like, oh my gosh, that was like devastating. So right now it's just kind of like I'm just gonna have some fun and play with some stuff. And then maybe right there I can actually place another kick instead. And then it might be kind of cool to grab something like this and maybe reverse sample that in. And again. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is maybe grab that Valucar bass. This one's pretty sick. I like this one a lot. And maybe just have like one phrase of that somewhere. Probably right there on that clap. That would make no sense. Then what I'm going to do now is I'm not really going to worry so much about what this actual phrase is while this is doing all the randomizations. Instead, what I'm going to focus on is turning this on, going here, and setting some kind of pitch bend range or something. Something kind of like that, ideally. Okay, dude. Something like that could be cool. So I can come back in here and turn that back off. And turn this stuff back on. Hopefully between one of these cuts will be cool. You guys can't hear it, but my dogs are all like snoring together. Pretty cute. Pretty funny. Sorry, I'm scooting closer so I don't have to lean in. What's going on here? Okay, that one's pretty good. So we'll grab that one, turn that off, and all these other ones can kind of just stay there. Cool. Let's grab a filter now. And turn this off. And make something that kind of follows along the lines of this. I feel like so. Duplicate this. This into a low pass filter now. Pull that up. See what that does. There we go. Cool. So I like these instruments that we have here, this like doom doom doom. I think that I would like these to be like something different though. Well, not something different, but like something else that adds interest to that. Like maybe I can support this with like another faceplant patch or something. That's just kind of like a don't. Let's see. Got that. Yo, welcome, Ryzen. Okay. Let's grab like faceplant. Pull up something like this. Cool. Sounds dope. Yeah, I'm just trying to add an extra layer to this to make it seem like it's going to kind of have like a little bit more to it. So let's go and form this. Oh, guess I moved this to the wrong thing. Wait, what? Did I? I think I did. I think that I changed this to... How did that happen? Okay. Alright, well, what I'm going to do is just back the fuck up on this like, quite a bit. Go back to my sub. That was so weird. Here we go. So, luckily, because there's an undo button on here, I get to keep both. Nice. So, that should take care of that. But... I think that I only wanted this in these sections here. Hopefully I chose the right one. Meaning that I didn't do the sub. I may have though. Probably. Oh no, I picked the right one. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm gonna don't need any of that stuff. Okay, so that does sound pretty cool. But I may have thrown this whole thing into reverb and stuff, and I might not have wanted to. Might have wanted to keep just this signal and that. So maybe maybe. Start there. Anything that's not these little triple things. Just cut it out. So just as a test, now we can come in here and make the rest of this stuff back in mono, because I kind of wanted to play in between having like wide sounds and short sounds. So let's see what that sounds like. Okay, now let's go back, because I almost want to say that the reverb wide sound is cooler. I want to see what that sounds like just in mono, because we already have a wide signal on this one. That might blend a little bit better. Yeah, I think that I just need to find a way to kind of tighten this up without it sounding too dry. And I think that a big component of that is going back and fixing the clap. Not bad. So now I'm going to put some work into the kick. Let's go into, yep. And I'm going to see if I can make this thump. I can't really tell on this one, to be honest. So maybe I'll pull up the Pro Q. Yeah, that sounds a lot more beefy. I mean, I could totally blow this to hell if I wanted to, but I think like having a relatively clean kick on this would probably suit better. Yeah. So yeah, this is not usually what normally what I usually make. Needs a cowbell. But it's you know, for an hour and a half of not really having any idea of what to throw together, it's a kind of cool little riff or something. a little saturation too. Maybe we can use that cool new ramp thing. Use 16th notes. Yeah, it sounds empty without a bass on that. Maybe what I can do is introduce this again in some way. Might be interesting. Like maybe really high pitched and turn it down. this is cool, but it's not really doing a whole lot. That's pretty cool, but it doesn't fit. Yeah, now it just sounds like I just can't figure out what the mix would be to... It sounds like the drums are too loud now, to be honest. Or at least maybe the clap is. Yeah, this is weird, man. I'm not really used to making conventional, like, easygoing tunes anymore. I'm more like into doing like crazy abstract micro edit glitch cut things or whatever, but still, this was a pretty fun project to I don't even know what we would call this, biting off of what's his face, Invictive. I had that one song Vibrator in mind. Boom, go don't do boom. Oh, maybe Days. That was the one, the BIP version of that. Really was just kind of what spoke to me when I first started this project. Does anybody have any questions on anything? I don't know how I feel about this now. Yeah, I mean, maybe we can get away with like adding more layers and stuff to this. That could be kind of cool. Like if I brought back that that generator or so. Pitch factory. Oh, sorry. 1, 2, 3. So if I took something like this, did 4 renditions of it, let's just bounce it out so that way I don't have to worry about. It's all good. Great. It's kind of odd. I mean, by themselves, these are pretty sick. It's not quite what I'm looking for, but it is pretty cool. Let me go back to here and figure out what's up with this. It's got something to do with the arpeggiator. Is this set to bipolar, maybe? Excuse me, sorry. Oh, okay, so I'm gonna set that to there, maybe. All right, let's try this again. And once this bounces out, I'm going to take this sample and then probably just set it to like 1/16 notes anyways. So that way we can kind of just use this as like some other like percussion emphasis, something of the sort. So now I'm just going to maybe scroll through this and see if I can find a cool phrase. That one's pretty cool. Like any of this other stuff, so you're right there. Right here. Boom. Maybe something right here could be nice. And then we can use that same first phrase right here and maybe find something different between this space here. Let's try maybe something like that. Place that right there. That's okay where that's at. Yes. I don't want anything to be right there, obviously. And maybe over here I can kind of fill in this phrase right there with something like this. So we've got variation between that. Then I can just go back and use the first phrase again. Thus. There's some other cool stuff in there, but it's not really useful at this point. Yeah, I wondered how this sounds like on monitors. One of the things that I was actually considering doing was like getting big monitor speakers, but my room isn't treated, and that would probably be a bitch to do. But I am curious as to how this sounds. Probably could use some high end as well. And still needs like a little bit of spark to make it more enticing to listen. Yeah, so it could use, oh, excuse me, use some more high end. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, guys, anybody have any questions on what we did today? I kind of just wanted to play around with an idea. Play around with an idea of what could be fun or so. Wait, shit. Just realized that I've been on top chat. Did I miss anybody's stuff? No, okay. I was like, ah. Yeah, I kind of just wanted to do some play today and have a chance to make something different or just get back into the DAW because I've been away from it for like 8 days. So, come on, Epoch Cam. You gotta stay on, dude. Yeah, I wonder if my CPU is just like hating me right now. No, it says I'm doing pretty okay. I don't know what's up with that. Discord helper strikes again. And then Streamlabs OBS is having some rendering things. It's causing some issues. Oh. Yeah, that's so weird. Shit's all jumping around and being odd. Anyways, yeah, I had a good time today, guys. Thanks so much for coming in. I don't really have a whole lot else that I want to do with this right now. I kind of want to send this idea to some people and be like, okay, how can I tidy this up to make it have a little bit more energy? But I think tomorrow or so, well, maybe not tomorrow, we'll see. The next few days, or as Bitwig starts to stabilize, I'll be looking into doing more IDM stuff. I have some ideas for some tracks that I want to try to start doing an EP for, but again, I'm super reluctant to start any kind of new serious project while I'm in beta because I just don't want to lose it. I don't want to put all my heart and soul into a track just for it to, you know, for it to mess up, because that's no fun. But yeah, thanks everybody. I appreciate you guys coming in. Hope that you all had a good time, and you can always hit me up on the Discord if you need anything else. And I think that's gonna be it for me tonight. See you guys.